Hi y'all. Today is August 3rd. Today's Thursday. Well, I keep thinking today's Friday. Oh, probably because I wish it was Friday. But how are you guys doing? Me, I'm okay. I went to the doctor's today. So, anyways, that's not why I'm here. I wanted to say hi. And I just want to talk about job. Is it stability? So it's like, let me tell you, I personally do not. I joke at work like I'm next on the chopping block at work, but I know I'm not. Let's say the first of the month, and it feels like this has happened twice so far. I've been on this team for what, 2 months now? No, as of March. So no, it's been longer, but I definitely know as of March, not March, for the past 2 months. So this month and then the previous month, like in the first of the month, two teammates have been terminated. Okay, now of course they can't tell us the reason why, but let me tell you about this most recent one. I know my supervisor was in a one-on-one. He didn't tell us who he was in a one-on-one with. Usually he would, right? And then anyways, that person was like, it was nice, chilling with y'all. And then right after that, it shows that he was disconnected from the team chat. So we're like, what? Anyways, we had a team meeting yesterday, which is the second. And he was like, my manager was like, I know y'all have a lot of questions. They were like, what's going on? Anyways, people put themselves in positions to lose jobs. Now, this one question that somebody asked, was this like because he got like a verbal, written, was it like steps? Sometimes when you're at a job, even with myself, right, at Amazon, you get a verbal, it continues to happen, you get a written, the course is up until termination. So somebody was like, was it like that? And my manager was like, I can't really say, but just know integrity. Integrity is key. He was like, there are some instances where we will just let you go, right? So we're thinking like this person was just let go because they were doing something. We don't know, but it just means like 2 months in a row, people are being let go because they're not doing something. Now, of course, for granted, like you think about it, right? Obviously, these people know what they're doing. These people, well, the one guy, he was cool. I don't know him personally, but it sounds like he was a good rep. I know his stats in regards to customer satisfaction was decent, but like what else? I don't know. Was it like hanging up on customers? Was it, having a lot of system issues? So let me tell y'all something. Even for me, one important thing was, and I stressed this in my previous video, that you guys know I was having some terrible month-long issues with Comcast around the same time every day for like the past month. Well, for a month, my internet was going down. I kept losing calls. After a while, my manager is like, this is not a good look, Candace. And when he started saying that, I already knew. He's like, this is not a good look. When this happens, just log off, get with tech, and we go that route. Now, anytime I was having those issues, I would just notate in the account or notate in my chat that I had a drop call. I would notate the account, attempt to call the customer back. But that's the ongoing issue. That shows up as being a problem. Okay, you work from home. It's out of my control, but still, I'm at fault. One, I'm at fault. Two, I'm not getting paid for this time that I have to take off, right? So my last paycheck, if you guys look at my last paycheck, there were like 7 hours in that paycheck. What was it? 7 hours, somewhere around there that was just system issues during that one paycheck, right? And I mean, I get paid a decent amount. So how much money did I lose? More than what my internet costs per month, which is $100. So needless to say, my job has this thing in place, right? If you're at 2% system issues, whether it's kind of weird, right? It's kind of weird. If it's 2% or more for like 3 months in a row, you're going to be let go, because they don't view that as being, how can I say it? That as being a good look, right? Now, I will say this. Sometimes it's my job's issue. Okay, not for me personally, but sometimes it is a system issue based on the job, and that still counts against you. If your systems are down and it's based on the job, or let's say you need a new computer while you're waiting, that counts against you, you guys, because you can't take phone calls. If you need a new headset, you can't take phone calls. That counts against you. Like, I know one teammate right now. He was asking them, oh, did you hear anything back about your headset? No, nothing just yet. And I'm just like, this is counting against her. There's another person on my team. I had like a call session, including them, and we just went over calls, and my manager was like, oh man, I know you were just shy of being at another 2%. And he's like, I'm happy that it didn't go that route, So I'm just saying, like, your job sometimes is out of your control. And you can lose a job, you guys. Job security, that's not a thing, you guys. That's not a thing. Income security, that's not a thing. Even if you work for yourself, income fluctuates. The work fluctuates. And I feel like I can't stress it enough how important it is to have a savings, okay? Oh my goodness, can you imagine? So this person that left or that got fired, it may have just been on the spot, like, you're done. You know what I mean? From what my manager, he couldn't divulge, but he was like, there are some times where we do have to just cut people off. And what if this person did not have, what if they did not have a savings? I'm just like, OMG, OMG. Even there are some people that have constantly having issues, and they are adamant, like, as of like, last month or 2 months ago, I think very much last month, they were just like, my manager just kept saying, if you guys keep having system issues and of 2% or more, that's when you start getting these verbals, you know what I mean? I know for the month of July, my thing was out the wazoo. I know that for a fact. I didn't check to see if I was over 2%, but any other month I'm low. So that's why I'm happy that the one day that I got off of work, I walked the dogs, and this guy came up to me, and it was Verizon. I have Verizon right now. I still have my Comcast business modem because I still technically have service for 30 days. But I still got to return the modem. I have it turned off. I just have my home modem with Comcast still. Jamez still has issues with it going up and down. So I still have to call them about that, but that's not my main priority. My main priority was always my business modem or my business internet, because that was my lifeline, right? That makes me work. That makes me stay out of trouble when my internet is reliable. So I'm happy that I now have Verizon. So far, so good. No issues. Of course, with Verizon, this is Fios, so their things are underground. So I'm happy about that. So when storms come and things like that, we are still straight. But it's just crazy. It's just crazy, man. And I'm just like, Candace, I know I have goals. I have goals. Let me know. What are your goals? Whether it's small, it may be big to you, you know what I mean? If it's saving up $500, that's amazing, because I will say this. There's, different type of people, right? There's type of people that are frugal. There's type of people that they're just normal, but they're still living paycheck to paycheck. And then there's people that just go all out. They're living paycheck to paycheck, but the only person to blame is themselves, right? They make a good income, but they have the lifestyle creep. One thing I say for myself, yes, I am very frugal, even with my hair, y'all. Your girl did this herself, whereas if I were to go somewhere, it would be like $180, most of the time up to $200 and something dollars. Who's paying $200 and something dollars? I was thinking about treating myself to get a sew-in, but I'm backtracking that because, you know, if you guys don't know, back in the day, your girl has spent thousands of dollars on good quality hair, okay? Very good quality of hair, but I still have those things. And I was thinking about in the month of August, September, getting my sew-in, but I'm like, Candace, because I'm like, oh, the weather will cool down. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to get my hair done, but that's around $200. Now, for me, I'm like, I could do that because I will keep that sew-in for like 3 months. The person I used to go to, I loved their quality, and I would definitely get a sew-in again. I haven't had one in forever. Professionally, I have done my own sew-ins since then. But you guys know I did 2 big chops and things like that. But I'm very frugal, so your girl, I did my own hair, okay, saved money that way. But I'm not saying that I don't treat myself out. I do treat myself, okay, but there's a time and place for everything. If I'm not financially sound, I can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna get my hair done. You know what I mean? Like, I will say, for some people, even I know people like this. They live paycheck to paycheck, but they stay going to get their nails done, their feet done, their hair done. You figure, how much is that? I'm like, how much did your hair cost? Oh, $250. But before, you were saying how you were overdrafting your account and all this stuff. I'm just like, some people put themselves in these predicaments. Now, there are some people, okay, as I mentioned, they live paycheck to paycheck, but that's just because their income, you know, rent has gone up, food has gone up, everything has gone up, and people are struggling, okay? I am frugal. How can I say? I'm frugal. And I've always been frugal, so that wasn't a change in mindset for me. And I understand that for some people, a change in mindset is something. I will say that when I'm emotional, I don't have a problem with spending, okay? I still think about it, but sometimes I'm just like, I have these inclinations to be like, oh, I deserve this. Oh, this is, I work hard enough. I need to treat myself. But sometimes, like, even with me wanting a car, me wanting a tablet. Let me tell you about that tablet. So, you know, my son gave me his tablet. How many times have I used that? I opened it up like twice. So can you imagine me having to spend $300 on a tablet myself and it just sitting there? Like, seriously, you know, that's why I take my time, you know. I will say, you know, when I'm emotional, I'm like, oh, I want to buy myself something, you know. I usually go the food route most of the time because physical things, like physical items, I'm like, you know, I know myself, and I'm like, Candace, like, I'll think about it. I'm like, oh, I want this. Like, my son graduated, right? I'm emotional. I'm like, I want to get a car. I got my son a car. I paid that off. I deserve this. You know what I mean? I deserve a new car. But, you know, I never hopped on anything. You know, I look at things because, yes, it's okay to look at things. It's okay to want things, but it's another thing to hop on it and put yourself in a financial bind because you're emotional. You know what I mean? Like, right now for cars, just for instance, car prices are crazy. Even for used cars that have over 100,000 miles, they're still in like the 20,000s. I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? Oh my goodness. And then on top of that, you figure the interest rates on these loans are higher. Interest rates keep going up. And then on top of that, insurance is going up because, people are, the thing is, you may not have filed a claim, but with this company, there may have been a lot of claims filed by other people, which affects you as a consumer with them, So it's just like, it's more than just that. I'm like, yes, getting a new car is fun, but then you have a car payment. You have insurance, which could go up more. It's a newer car. So yeah, that can go up. And then it's just like, it's just so many things, you guys. Oh, the interest rate. It's just so many things. So yes, I would be like, oh man, I deserve this. I do deserve a whole bunch of stuff, you guys. I'm a widow. I'm a single mom. I have mental health issues. Like, I deserve a lot. Okay, and I know it. I know I deserve the world. But I can't give myself the world, I'm content with what I have, but it's okay to dream. It's okay to dream, and I dream a lot about what I would like, And I've gone over that stuff with you, but I'm just like, man, thinking about how many people are losing their jobs, right? Think about the truckers, people who were making 6 figures. Now they're making minimum wage, kind of. I'm like, you just never know how things will go. So my whole thing is lifestyle creep, right? Lifestyle creep is a thing. So these people that started making a whole bunch of money, especially during the pandemic, because they needed drivers, they needed things, they needed a lot of things, right? Pandemic kind of changed a lot of stuff. So these people were making a lot of money, okay? A lot of money. And now, if you make 6 figures, now you're down to minimum wage. How much are you really making? You're probably making 50, 60,000 per year versus 100,000. That's a big difference, you guys. That's a big difference. And that's probably not even minimum wage for most places, So yeah. And my whole thing is, like, if you weren't making that money before, what do you do? Like, tell me, what would you do? What would you do? Your income starts going up. Do you start to get better things? Do you start to, say, oh, I deserve this. Oh, my pay has gone up. Let me do this. And I'm not saying, like, this, let me know what you guys would do. Me personally, as my income increases, I'm putting that money to the side. Like, I want to stay where I'm at with my bills, because you just never know. People may call me paranoid. I feel like it's being wise of staying within your means. Yeah, your means can grow. Your living means can grow. But at the same time, what happens when the world comes crashing down? You know what I mean? You just never know. So I feel bad for people that are like, oh yeah, I can afford this. I can afford this mortgage. The mortgage is $2,000. Now your income has gone down. Where are you coming with this $2,000? On top of that, you bought a new car. Cars are expensive. You got it during the pandemic. And now your car payment $700. So that's $2,700 right there. Like, your girl hardly makes $2,700 per month. And can you imagine if your income drops, or if you lose your job? Like, I don't think people think that way because they feel secure in what they have. Me personally, I don't feel secure. Whether it's me up and leaving a job, which you guys have seen, because of my mental health. Like, I will take my mental health over a paycheck any day, you guys. But at the same time, I'm prepared to do that, to give myself that time period. But there are people that make 6 figures and they're still living paycheck to paycheck. But when you think about it, I watch videos. I'm like, man, where did all this money go? Well, they bought new cars. Oh, they bought a new house. And I'm just like, y'all just doubled your bills. Your income has gone up, but then people are like, oh, I got laid off. And I'm not saying it's not okay to, and this is for me. for me, I'm not saying it's not okay to better yourself. It is okay. But what was wrong with where you were at before? You know what I mean? Like, if you have saved up $1 million, yeah, but if you don't have nothing saved and you're just like, oh, let me do what I do, you know what I mean? If you don't have anything saved, now I would feel comfortable with living up there with my income if I had a proper amount set aside. So if something were to happen, I'm okay. But my whole logic is I'd rather keep my bills as low as possible. So when those instances do come up, and my pay decreases, it doesn't matter. Like, for me right now, I can afford, I live off one paycheck. That's my goal. Living off one paycheck per month. Okay. My logic for that is, hey, Candace, if you lose this good paying job, and I make like $50,000 a year, y'all. As a single mom, I make $50,000 a year. Currently, I only pay half of my rent. Half of my rent comes from some other income, which eventually will go away. Okay, so that's what, $450 that will eventually come out of my pocket. But still, I'm basically able to currently live off one paycheck per month. That's not including me getting a monthly incentive either, okay? That's not including a monthly incentive or monthly bonuses. My regular pay, I can definitely live off one paycheck per month if needed. And that's what I do, right? For the most part, if you guys have been following me for a couple months, I implemented that because I'm like, prior to me getting this job, you guys, I was working part-time. Oh, my manager just messaged me. How can I say it? I was working part-time, making almost half of what I'm making. I was making $17.50 an hour. For me, coming from my previous job, that was like a big change. You know, like what? $10 less an hour first, and before I was working full time. Now I'm part time, and I may do with it because I had a plan in place. Stating like, okay, Candace, while you're getting food stamps, you're on Medicaid, you can do it. Plus, I had money set aside. I did have my $30,000 set aside. Okay, I did end up dwindling that down because I did take like 2 months off. But let me get back on track. What I'm trying to say is, when I was part-time, I made roughly $1,300 per month, and I was able to do basically that, my living expenses minus food, on $1,300 per month and paying half of my rent. I was able to do that with part-time, okay? And I was paying for my son's car payment. I was paying for rent, insurance monthly. So those things I was doing, right? Now I have this new job making good money, making at least $50,000 and not including bonuses. So like my almost double, not quite there, but almost double. Let's say 3/4 more, and nothing has changed for me. Nothing has changed for me. Like my wants, yes, I do want things, but I'm not jumping on them. I didn't purchase myself a new car. I didn't say, oh, you know what, now that I'm making back to what I was making before, let me increase or move. You know, I feel comfortable now. Let me move to a different place. Let me actually get myself a new car, paid off my son's car. I want things, but like, we have to think things through. So what I'm doing is living off one paycheck per month. And my thinking is, if something were to happen, I'm pretty sure I can get another job that makes at least $15 an hour. And I can do that full time. Because you figure, before I was making $17.50 an hour, only working part time. I was only working 20 hours per a month, per week. So if I can make at least $15 an hour at a job and work full time, I'm going to be straight. So my whole thinking is, if I can't always get a good paying job, at least if I'm working full time at a minimum wage job, I will be okay. You know, sometimes good paying jobs are kind of hard to come past. Okay. I don't have a degree in anything, nothing at all. So it's just like, I don't have that lifestyle creep. It can easily happen to me, but I think things through. I'm like, Candace, at the end of the day, look at what people are going through, you know. And I know for myself, I left a job. I caused that to happen for myself. I could have just kept going the medical route, getting paid. But like, my mental health was my priority. And it is what it is. But like, do you allow lifestyle creep to creep up? I think it's very smart for us to, I will speak for myself, but I think it's very smart for all of us to live within our means. Just because you're making this amount of money now, it can drastically change in a moment's time. How many people in the tech world, obviously, you know, tech people make mostly six figures now to be without a job. They have these nice houses, nice cars. What happens? What happens, you guys? I'm just like, I sit back, I watch videos, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I get stressed out looking at what people are going through, because for myself, I'm like, I'm in a good position to do what I do. I am such in a good position to do what I do, living off one paycheck per month, able to save up the other paycheck per month, okay? Or I could do whatever I want with the second paycheck. I can definitely do whatever I want with the second paycheck. I don't have to save it up, but I decide to save it up, okay? Of course, the only debt I currently have is my student loans, which I have a game plan for that. I've kind of talked that over with y'all, and we'll go a little bit deeper in that on another video, but like, y'all, oh my goodness. OMG. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, life can happen like this, y'all. Things can change like this. I just want us all to be prepared. There's so many people in my life that if their income, they make more than me, and they already are overdrafting their accounts. They want, their logic is, I deserve something. I want a newer car. They're looking for newer cars. Their payments are going to go up $200 per month. But you're already living paycheck to paycheck. You're overdrafting your account. You're getting, you know, yourself done up monthly, every month and a half. But you want a newer car with a higher interest rate than what you already have. And I'm just like, I don't judge. But I'm the type of person that wants to help people, right? I want to jump in and be helpful, you know? But I always tell myself, Candace, I am no longer helping people out financially. We are all grown enough to make our decisions. If you're not making wise decisions, I'm like, Candace, that doesn't fall on you. It falls on you to take care of your household, and that's it. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I sit back and I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? Even when I watch people, I don't know who they are. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. For me personally, I can't imagine being in debt right now. I filed bankruptcy a long time ago, over 7-10 years ago. I think it took 10 years to drop off. Yeah, 10 years. I filed Chapter 7. So that stays on your credit report for 10 years. Even after that, of course, I went back into debt, but I ended up paying it off, went back into debt, paid it off. And I'm at that point where I'm just like, I am more mature. Even back then, like, I had so many emotions going on between my husband passing, you know, being in a new state. I just had so many things going on. Most of that money went towards us eating out constantly when I moved here. And that's basically where it went, y'all. That's basically where my stuff went, buying hair, and I mean thousands of dollars on here. And that's it, y'all. Like I just wanted to talk about finances. It's just crazy how everything is so much more expensive, but let alone like when we make extra money, we throw it back out versus saving it. You know, even when I was getting, and this is what's going to happen with this job as well, when I start to make money, okay, or when I start to get bonuses, not bonuses, but like when I start to get raises, annual raises, like I did at my previous job, when my raises go up by 6%, that 6% is going to go into savings. You know what I mean? I didn't have to live off that 6% to begin with. So set it aside, put that into savings. And now you figure interest rates are for your savings accounts are higher. I have Discover and I have Capital One. And they're both the same, around what, 4.3%, 4.30% annual percentage rate. And that's awesome. Back in the day, it was like 0.05, then it got up to 1%. But with all these increases in the interest rate for debt, the interest rates for savings have gone up, which I'm thankful for the banks that I have. Not all banks have that type of interest increase. So yeah, y'all. Let me get off of here. I just wanted to just kind of put that out there. Like, lifestyle creep happens, but you have to think about the long run. You know, things can happen. If you were to lose your job today, even though you're making this much, your next job may be this much, but if your expenses are still up here, you're in the hole. Do you have savings to help cover that while you're searching for a good paying job? Like, and I think that, like, we're going to see that happen more because student loans are coming in. People had a disposable income of $400. People bought cars, right? Oh, I got $400 back in my budget. Let me buy a car. Now what happens when, student loans start up? It's like a domino effect, you guys. And it's sad that people are going to be left hanging. But I think sometimes, as I mentioned, there's like three type of people. Sometimes the person that's stuck in the middle, that's going to be the hardest hit. You know what I mean? The people that are living paycheck to paycheck, but they're not living above their means, but they're just there. They're stuck there. And that's the people I worry about. I don't worry too much about these people because these people, they did that to themselves. For me, there's these people that, live below their means and they have savings and they're okay if, life takes a turn for a while. I'm not saying they're going to be completely okay, but if they have 6 months, a year of savings, even 3 months, a month of savings, then they're okay. So I don't know, y'all. It's scary. For me, it's scary. Not as just a mom, not being just a single person, just being a person in general. I think things through, and that's part of like my thinking thing, right? And I've been doing this for years. So, it's easy to get back into debt. Your girl's been into debt, but I pay it off, But yeah, life is the work income issue that we're going to be coming upon. It's really going to hit people hard, y'all. But then at the same time, it's just like, did you do that to yourself? Did you purchase a car knowing that, you may have to pay on this? You're using your credit card, your interest rate keeps going up. What has been increased by like 5%? People's interest rates are like 29%. I think that's just ludicrous, but people just keep adding to it. They're like YOLO, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm just happy that I'm this person. I fear for these people that are living paycheck to paycheck, and it's no fault of their own, People are working 2 to 3 jobs 2 to 3 jobs to make do. They have a full-time job and have 2 part-time jobs. I feel for you. I have a part-time job at Amazon, and I'm using that to pay off my student loans. I would love to work 2 jobs. once again, Amazon is my way to get out the house. But yeah, okay, let me really get off. I'm going to be logging into work soon. But I want to message my supervisor, let him know I did call the attendance line. And because I seen a message. He said that it still says that I'm still scheduled to work. So I'll get back to you guys later on a different video so I can talk about Amazon and my way of what I plan on doing next for my student loans. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye.